The following recording is a production of Kickin' Out at 2 in conjunction with the Retromania Pro Wrestling Podcast Network and is intended for private use only. For more information, head on over to facebook.com/Kickin' Out at 2 or our Twitter handle @Kickin' Out 2, along with searching Retromania with a W on any and all podcast platforms available to listen to archive shows such as this and all the great content of the Retromania Pro Wrestling Podcast Network. Evergreen content at your fingertips anytime at your listening pleasure. And with that being said, we thank you for listening and hope you enjoy the show. On this St. Valentine's Day, we celebrate one of the most heartbreaking losses that one Dave Rosenbluth could ever encounter in his 40 years of wrestling fandom. 35 years ago this month, Hulk Hogan losing the WWF Championship to Andre the Giant on Saturday night's main event from February 5th, 1988. We're going to watch that back with all of you here on this St. Valentine's Day. Thank you very much for tuning in, checking us out. Can't wait to get into this. It's been a long time coming. Dennis is going to join me shortly as we watch this match back with all of you on the Peacock. Get your thoughts, get his thoughts, if you will, on this this epic, heartbreaking moment that I encountered 35 years ago at 5 years old. 5 years old! My parents let me stay up to watch Saturday night's main event. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, the WrestleMania 3 rematch, a 15.2 Nielsen rating, which I didn't even know what the fuck that was back then. 33 million viewers watched this episode of Saturday night's main event. The most in wrestling history. Still to this day, to this very day. 33 million people tuned in to see Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, the WrestleMania 3 rematch. Only for the $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase, and his money, his powerful checkbook, his overwhelmingly large bank account to come into play and pay off the referees. Who paid for the plastic surgery, brother? You're going to find out very soon as we watch this back with all of you on the Peacock. And joining me to partake in this St. Valentine's Day heartbreaking Saturday night's main event watch along here on Kickin' Out at 2, my co-host, my good friend, my dear, close, personal, longtime friend, my buddy, my pal, my amigo, Dennis J. Levy. What's up, buddy?
Dave, thank you for the heartfelt introduction. Excited for this episode. That Andre the Giant versus Hogan, yeah?
Andre, WrestleMania 3 rematch, the highest rated wrestling match in history to this day. 33 million people watched this match on Saturday night's main event. Got a 15.2 Nielsen rating at that time. It was unheard of. Those are like Super Bowl numbers. We're going to watch that back with all of you on the Peacock as we get things set, ready to rock and roll in motion. You will search Saturday night's main event, Season 4, Episode 2, the main event number 1. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant for the WWE title and the Honky Tonk Man versus the Macho Man, Randy Savage. This episode goes 49 minutes and 24 seconds. I'll get you guys all set up, ready to rock and roll. But while we do that, I'll give you guys a little bit of a preview of what's to come this season, or this WrestleMania season, if you will. Our next episode, I'm looking to recap the Monday Night Raw from March the 2nd, 1998. Haven't watched it back yet, but I will. The night that Mike Tyson joined D-Generation X, heading towards the road to WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin. We'll also have a special WrestleMania 9 rearranged fantasy booking style retrospective with Kobe Naida and myself from Retromania. As we're gonna carefully construct. Dennis, you remember how bad WrestleMania 9 was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna try and make it watchable. Okay. We're gonna go through the roster and take a look and see what we can rearrange from a booking perspective and how we can get there and make WrestleMania 9 a watchable WrestleMania in wrestling history. Going down the fantasy booking rabbit hole. We're also going to do a WrestleMania What If. Justin's going to join me, and we're gonna go through some of the what ifs in WrestleMania history, some urban legends, and discuss some of those stories and how they could or couldn't have affected those respective WrestleManias. We're also going to do some WrestleMania classic watch-alongs from WrestleMania such as WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 14, WrestleMania 19, WrestleMania 24, the big milestone anniversaries. We're going to be doing some random classic watch-alongs of that on on Kicking Out at 2, as well as we're going to recap a Nitro, Spring Break Nitro from 1998, March 16th, 1998. Very interesting dynamic in WCW at that time. Hulk Hogan and the NWO were kind of on the outs. And Macho Man was the driving force behind some of that. And it was the night after the uncensored pay-per-view in WCW where the Macho Man had kind of, I guess you could say, shared his allegiance or pledged his allegiance to the NWO, but in a very, very rebel fashion. So I'm going to recap that Nitro. I'm going to watch that as well, and then I'll give you a full, extensive recap. They're not watch-alongs. That Nitro and that March 2nd Raw are not watch-alongs. They're going to be recaps. I thought I'd go a different direction here, try to give a little bit of variety, watch-alongs, recaps, retrospectives on fantasy booking style shows, if you will. So that's all coming up WrestleMania season here on Kicking Out at 2. Looking forward to it. Let's get into this watch-along here on this St. Valentine's Day, if you will. Hopefully, when you're watching this, you're not watching it with your Valentine because they might be heartbroken as well, especially if they're Hulkamaniacs. And they'll definitely be heartbroken at the finish when they find out how much the plastic surgery costs, brother. But with that being said, Saturday night's main event on Peacock, Season 4, Episode 2. It's titled The Main Event Number 1. And when I say play, press play. I'm going to play the audio for these intros, for these green screen promos, which I think are pretty fun. And, we're going to have at it. So, when I say play, press play. Give you a countdown. In 3, 2, 1, hit play.
I'm going to send the honky tonk man on the first bus back to the Spaceland, yeah. Cut rate Elvis, one-way ticket, yeah.
What a whiner that Macho Man is. He couldn't keep this belt. He can't keep his woman satisfied. You all saw her fall head over heels over me. And he was a lousy tune-up for my guitar.
But you know, he's a very lucky man.
How so, Jimmy?
He's very lucky you don't play the piano.
I'm Dibiase, the $1 Million Man. And this is the one and only true heavyweight champion of the world, Andre the Giant. Hulk Hogan may wear the belt for now, but after tonight, that belt will fit as easily around Andre's waist as the Giant's hands fit around Hogan's neck.
Hogan, it feels so good. I can't wait to do it again. And again. And again. When that big nasty giant snuck up behind me and put his filthy hands around my neck, I knew I was fighting for my life. Thousands of miles away, Hulkamaniacs couldn't breathe either. That's why tonight, when I step in the ring with Andre the Giant, the thoughts and the prayers of all those Hulkamaniacs that stood with me through the hard times are going to go in the ring with me. And Andre the Giant, with all that on my side, Hulkamania will never die.
All right, how about that intro there?
Amazing. That really was.
Yeah, that gets you pumped up. This is a great show. No, full disclosure, Dennis, I actually watched this back recently just without doing a watch-along so I can kind of get a feel of it. And it felt really big time, even watching it back. As we see, looks like Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body are going to be on commentary for this show. This was one of the rare instances that my family allowed me to stay up and watch Saturday night's main event. I think this actually, this was titled The Main Event. I think this took place on like a Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? This wasn't Saturday night?
So, yeah, because if you'll see the microphone display holder, it just says The Main Event. So this was one of the rare occurrences that my parents said, you could stay up and watch this. And it's a funny story, being the big Hulkamaniac that I was 35 years ago. A month prior, I was I was at my grandparents' house. I think there was like parent-teacher conferences or something, and my parents were at school for me or something, and I got to I watched the first Royal Rumble event, which took place on TV on the USA Network, the one that Hacksaw Jim Duggan won. It was on USA. It was a TV special, and they advertised Hogan and Andre in the contract signing for this rematch that we're watching currently. And I just remember being upset that not only Andre got the best of Hogan, but that Hogan wouldn't get his revenge, because I was so used to Hogan getting some type of revenge or Hogan coming out the victor. So I think my temper tantrum at 5 years old, a month prior, prompted mom and dad to allow me to stay up for this as we see this Hogan video training montage, which is interesting. Jake the Snake's music plays in the background. I'll play the audio for you. All right, I think you get the hint.
That's bizarre though, because Jake was around. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. But you know what? This was also the period of time where not everyone had entrance music. Probably a handful of guys had entrance music.
Yeah.
Hogan, Savage, Steamboat, I think, did at one point. Rick Rude, Ravishing Rick Rude, maybe. Not everyone had entrance music, so it wasn't. It's weird because you figured, well, if one guy had entrance music, they all would have it. But I think they were still in the early stages in development of building their musical library. And at the best I can recall, I don't think Jake had that music assigned to him at that point in time. Coming up, the Intercontinental Championship match between the Honky Tonk Man and the Macho Man Randy Savage. As you see the graphic pop up on the screen here. We'll play the audio for this interview with Honky Tonk. Let's hear it with Mean Gene.
Station time.
You're no journalist, Green Bean. You're missing the story here. The story here is romance. The lovely Elizabeth
We know. She's head over heels for you, right?
Even this bozo can see it. She wants you, Honky. She wants you bad. And I'm going to oblige her, being the gentleman I am, the Honky Tonk Man.
What are you saying? What are you saying, man?
What I'm saying is this. I've got the title. I've got the belt. And tonight, I'm going to get the woman, the lonely woman.
Oh, no.
And then where you gonna take her, Honky?
Where are you going to take her, Honky?
I'm going to take her down a lonely street to the Heartbreak Hotel. Don't you worry. I won't be cruel. Because I know she wants me to love her tender. Because I'll be her teddy bear.
And you know where that hound dog Randy's gonna be?
Where's he going to be?
In a ghetto.
This Psycho Elvis, the real Elvis, doesn't hear that. Let's get back to you.
That was pretty good.
So, another record that still stands to this day, Honky Tonk Man is still the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time at 15 months. You would think 35 years, in between this 35-year time period, that they would have broken that record. But Honky Tonk Man is still the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Now, with that being said, you've kind of gotten back on the WWE bandwagon as of late. I know you're not a big fan of the name change from Walter to Gunther, but Gunther is the current reigning and defending WWE Intercontinental Champion, and the quality of the Intercontinental Championship matches are starting to become restored. I still don't like the look. I still don't like the Siri actually just looked up Intercontinental Championship. That's funny. And by the way, that's Sherry Martel as Peggy Sue. I don't know if you knew that.
I think you can pretty much tell that was Sherry.
Okay. Anyways, the quality of the title matches for the Intercontinental Championship have been restored, I feel like, in recent months during Gunther's reign. The matches he's had with Sheamus, Rey Mysterio. Shinsuke, I think he had a great match with. The list goes on and on. Do you think that they can... Do you think that Walter can surpass Honky Tonk's Intercontinental Championship reign?
Where's he at now?
I think he's like 240 something days. Let me Google this. Let me look this up on the phone.
So I think
I'm going to look up Honky Tonk Man IC title reign. Honky had been the champion for, according to Google, 1 year, 2 months, and 27 days. The longest Intercontinental Championship reign in history. Let me look up Gunther IC title reign. There we go. Gunther reached 245 days as champion, surpassing Shelton Benjamin's reign of 244 days, becoming the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in the 21st century. So, Gunther's, if he wants to hit a year, I think he's on pace to hit a year. Will he? I mean,
I do think Cody is going to win the championship from Roman.
Okay, you think that? Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
So you think Roman's beating Sammy, and then Roman's going to drop to Cody?
Sammy had a shot until last night. Today's a Tuesday.
Yep. Valentines Day.
When he did that, when Cody did the promo, like, I'm cheering for you, buddy. Me and you, WrestleMania. I mean, it got me all hyped up.
Yep.
But like the ones who win at the hometowns, like more like a very quiet thing. Seeing that when they come in, the place blows up. The whole time hero. But people don't talk about it. It's like, it's like a baseball pitcher with no hitter. You don't talk about it. Okay. Once you talk about winning the title, you know you're fucked. You're done. It's kind of the same thing. Like,
not every instance, because if as a character, as a competitor, you talk about winning the title, you have to exude a certain amount of confidence.
But not when the other guy does it. You do it, not the other guys. When
so you're saying Cody instilling that confidence in Sammy.
Yeah. It's just us trying to get that extra buy for the pay-per-view.
Okay.
When no one's talking about it other than the people involved with the match, you're like, wow, there might be a title change. When other people talk about it, it's over. Trust me.
Interesting.
It's the same thing also, Money in the Bank, that there are no pay-per-views. If anyone who touches the belt before Money in the Bank, automatically not
the briefcase?
Yep.
Yeah.
The briefcase, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, interesting analogy, interesting theory there.
Yep.
So, how does that answer the question? Does Walter surpass...
Oh, here's the thing. I think he's the one that's going to take it off Cody. So, I think, unfortunately, I think Walter's going to lose it.
So you...
Midsummer, I think Walter loses it.
Interesting. So you think he's going to be the one to dethrone Cody?
I do. Either SummerSlam or
so you think Cody? So, all right. So wow. So you're really going. You're really going down the rabbit hole. So you think Cody beats Roman at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
He has a reign from the spring into the summer.
Yeah.
And at SummerSlam, you think Gunther, Walter
around that time
is going to defeat Cody?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. We'll see if that comes to fruition as the match is underway. Savage has got the upper hand here on the Honky Tonk Man. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the story? And this is it's an urban legend. Justin and I are actually going to delve into it a little bit more, but I want to get your perspective on it. There has been a long-standing rumor that Ted DiBiase was scheduled to win the WWF Championship at WrestleMania 4 this year in 1988. But one of the main reasons behind that was the fact that Honky Tonk Man was unwilling to drop the Intercontinental Championship, therefore changing plans, and Savage would end up winning the WWF Championship tournament at WrestleMania 4. What's your take on that theory, that rumor?
I don't think it's a theory. I'm pretty sure that I was watching a Honky Tonk Man shoot interview, and he says that he admits to it, that he wanted to drop the title, and that's why at SummerSlam he had that match with Warrior, and he lost it like less than 10 seconds.
Okay.
Because A, McMahon wanted to make an example, and B, he didn't really have an opponent, so So Vince McMahon goes, well, here's your opponent. This is what's gonna happen. And it's like, okay, I get it. I'm pretty much done after that.
But all right, so let me ask you this: if that's the case, and I'm not questioning,
Yeah.
It's just something that you watched, on YouTube. If that's the case, why did Vince wait so long for SummerSlam to make that example out of Honky?
That's a good point. I don't know.
Why didn't Honky drop the title sooner? Because that's March of '88. SummerSlam's in August of '88.
According to these shoot interviews that I watched with the Honky Talk Man, he's very honest about it. He goes, I didn't want to drop it.
I have heard that he was very protective of his run as champion. I didn't know how far that went. I didn't know if that,
I don't know if he had something against the Macho Man per se, but yeah, he was unwilling until SummerSlam, he was unwilling to
I mean, he was a strong character. He was very easy to hate.
Yeah.
As a kid, and in hindsight, doing a lot of research and reading things over the years, they relied on Honky Tonk Man quite a bit in the role as the Intercontinental Champion. When they used to run, when they used to do split crews for house shows for live events. Honky used to headline a lot of those shows against Savage on the live event circuit, and as the Intercontinental Champion. So Hogan would headline one show against whomever.
Yeah. And
then the other show in the other town, Honky would be the headline heel against a Randy Savage or an Ultimate Warrior, things like that. So while Honky admits that he was very protective of his run as the Intercontinental Champion, I still find it hard to believe that Vince... Well, actually, you know what? Let me walk that back. I'll walk that back. Honky... I just pointed it out. Honky was a headliner for a lot of these live events against Randy Savage. When they used to split the crews, Honky and Savage used to... Or they used to do six-mans with Honky and the Hart Foundation against, like, Randy Savage and the British and Strike Force. And I remember there used to... I think I saw a picture once of a Boston Garden show of Savage and Strike Force against Honky Tonk Man and the Hart Foundation in a steel cage.
That's pretty cool.
At Boston Garden. So, maybe Vince waited for the opportunity to make an example out of Honky Tonk because he knew how much Honky Tonk drew for him on the live events.
Yeah, he is a businessman.
You know, Vince is no dummy. As much as everybody wants to claim the old man's out of touch now, he was no dummy back then.
And I agree with him on one thing too. Especially back then, you could not have two heel champions. You can have your two main belts be two heels.
So, all right, so let me ask you this, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Dibiase, they award him the title, at that WrestleMania that year, right?
Yeah.
That would be the first time I think a heel would walk out of WrestleMania as the champion. Let's just say, for argument's sake, okay? And Honky agrees to drop the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Who's he dropping it to?
This time, I don't know, because Tito's still with Strike Force, right?
Tito's still with Strike Force, yeah. They're still a team. So that's
a great question.
Look at all right, I'll give you some names. Look at the landscape here of guys that either have had the Intercontinental Championship or were kind of in that cloud of contenders. Randy Savage, former Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah. Ricky
the Dragon Steamboat, who Honky Tonk Man defeated to become the Intercontinental Champion. The Ultimate Warrior, he was on the rise. This was early '88.
Yeah.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake, he was a popular character.
Yeah.
He wrestled Honky Tonk Man at that WrestleMania that year, at WrestleMania 4. Jake the Snake Roberts, another credible name.
What did Warrior do that WrestleMania?
He wrestled Hercules in like a I wouldn't say a nothing match, but
yeah, common sense would be you give the belt to the Warrior, right?
I mean,
at WrestleMania especially.
But
I'm sorry.
Well, my watch. I'm done with this watch. I'm taking it off right now for the purpose of for the purpose of this podcast, I'm taking the watch off because Siri wasn't invited to our watch along here. As we see Macho Man, House of Fire, oh yeah, taking it to Honky Tonk Man. That crowd's going wild. They're really into this match.
That top rope sledgehammer was awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean, now here's all right. Warrior, all right. To answer your question,
Yeah.
Warrior could have been a suitable fit for them to, but I think also too they were still in the process of building him. He hadn't quite reached that popularity yet. He was getting there, but he hadn't quite reached it yet. So maybe the timing was right for Vince to put the title on Warrior at SummerSlam in '88. But let's move on. Oh, Jimmy Hart in the ring. Savage getting a piece of the Colonel. Oh, look at that. Honky with a knee to the chest. Savage going for the sleeper. Wow, this crowd's going crazy.
This is Minneapolis, right?
No, Indianapolis.
Oh, Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, yep. Oh, Sherry's out there. Or, I'm sorry, Peggy Sue, excuse me. What are you doing, bitch? Get away from my lady, huh? That's right, you ain't touching her. Don't worry, in about a year and a half, I'll fuck your brains out, huh? Right. Oh, Honky down, that's right. To the gun. Elizabeth, get out of the way. I'm throwing Honky into the post here, huh?
Yeah, because they was split film, right? Like in real life.
What's that?
About a year or two later, right?
Couple years. Oh, Savage, I think, wins by count out here. That was the finish. Savage defeated Honky by count out.
Still a champion.
You don't lose the title on a count out unless you're, Vince Russo. But Honky Tonk Man, not happy, looking to exact some type of revenge on Randy Macho Man Savage with the old guitar. Let's play the audio for this.
Honky Tonk Man has used that guitar before, we've seen it. I know. And the good thing is, like they said, that he don't play piano. Honky Tonk Man has been back 1,000 with that guitar now. Has the Macho Man run inside his corner? I'll tell you, Seth, this is not right. This is not fair. The match is over. The match is over. The official should get in there and stop this. Wait a minute, look at this. From behind, Jimmy Hart, Randy Savage. Oh. Honky Tonk Man's going to have at him now. Honky Tonk Man's going to
Excuse me.
Elizabeth, she can get out of there. Watch out. He almost hit Elizabeth. Look at the gentleman the Honky Tonk Man is. He could have hit Elizabeth. He could have hit Macho Man. But instead, look at her down here. He's going to hit her. Look, you know he's going to hit her. No, he's not. Somebody should stop that right now. Elizabeth, did someone pull? Macho Man standing up. Kick to the midsection. And now, Randy Savage has the guitar. Randy Savage, victorious over the Honky Tonk Man via countout. Oh, that guitar is no longer. I can't believe he would do that to an instrument like that. That thing could cost you thousands of dollars. Here's your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Randy Macho Man Savage.
Wow. Crowd was really into that one.
Yeah.
Very much so. Savage, yes, a couple years later it would be Savage and Elizabeth no longer together. I think 92, 93 is when... That was a few years. It wasn't... I'll say this. When Savage and Hogan did their Mega Power split a year later, Savage went and legally got a separation from Elizabeth in real life so that he could, keep with kayfabe. That's commitment.
Yeah. I think, can you say like him and Sherry probably banged each other? I'm like, that's it.
No, I don't. I was just fooling around, messing around. But yeah, I don't think. Well, I know that from attending the Jake the Snake stand-up comedy show a few years back, Jake admitted that him and Sherry had a long-standing sexual relationship. As Jake said, Sherry loved her sex.
Yeah.
If anybody's got the opportunity to go see Jake the Snake live in a speaking engagement, go do it. He is one of the. He knows. He didn't have to be a stand-up comedian. He just knows how to tell a story. Yeah. And he told some great stories.
No, that's the old Funny Bone, right?
Yeah, Funny Bone. Yep, yeah. My wife took me for our anniversary. She thought it was fun too. She had a good time. Savage victorious here via a count out. As we see Vince McMahon, Jesse the Body Ventura on commentary. Interesting setup there is they got the commentary table like right behind some of the fans are in front of it. Kind of in front of the ring there. It's
an interesting setup.
Interesting little setup they got there. Yeah. As we preview the match between Hogan and Andre from the rematch, the WrestleMania 3 rematch. And let's play the audio for the video package that they're about to show right now.
You think there's a 3 count coming up here, Jesse, but let me tell you, I don't believe it was there.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Joey Marella's arm went up and down 3 times.
Hogan also kicked out too.
Third time to simply brace himself, Jesse. There was no 3 count there. Not in anyone's wildest imagination, I don't believe.
Well,
what do you think? Was there a 3 count there?
No, it's arms up.
Yeah, it was just some bullshit little heel tactic.
And it was like 10 seconds in a match, right?
That was literally bell rings. They go at it, and then Hogan tried to slam Andre, and Andre went on top. Have you ever seen the Andre HBO documentary?
I've not.
Okay, you have to watch that. This is the contract signing where Andre attacks Hogan here. You see Jack Tunney and Dibiase instructing Andre to put his stamp of approval on things. And Andre has his way with Hogan. But the documentary itself is great. Bill Simmons produced it. Do you have like HBO Max? Like
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Look, go find it. It should be on there. It might even be on Peacock too, on the WWE portion of Peacock as well. I'll be honest with you, and I didn't expect to feel this way when I watched it, but the scene in that documentary when Hogan describes the hours leading up to the match with Andre at WrestleMania 3, and then how he told that story and it built all the way to the crescendo of him slamming Andre, I cried. I legitimately cried. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I was being nostalgic and I was getting back to like because my father took me to go see WrestleMania 3 in a movie theater as a kid. It was like a big deal.
That is.
That was closed circuit before there was such thing as pay-per-view. And I was beside myself watching that. But when I watched the scene when Hogan tells the story about how he wrote everything on the yellow legal pad and he tried to talk to Andre and Andre was kind of just blowing him off and, Hogan almost threw up and then the music in the background, the way the whole segment was produced on the documentary, like it just, emotions came over me. I was literally crying like a baby. And I was just like, oh my God, like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how much I was crying watching this story. Go back and watch the documentary. It's a really good documentary. It's about his life and his career and then the end of his life. It was just very sad. It's on HBO Max. I think I've seen it on Peacock too, on the WWE portion of Peacock. On the WWE Network. I'm going to call it the network.
Gotcha.
Because Peacock, still not the greatest app. It's gotten a little better, but it's still a piece of shit. It's a slightly tolerable piece of shit. It's not insufferable like the many times you've seen me melt down when we've tried to queue up these watch-alongs and I'll lose my fucking mind. WrestleMania 8, go download the WrestleMania 8 episode where I lose my fucking shit because I couldn't get it queued properly. As we see $1 Million Man with Virgil and the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant,
pretty good,
making his way down to the ringside area. Look at the mass humanity. That back. You could write a thesis paper on that back, like several pages. Like it's huge.
Yeah. Who's bigger, the Big Show or Andre?
I think Andre is.
Okay.
I think Andre is.
I believe it.
I think Andre was billed at like 7'4". And I think that's close to legit. Like, that's pretty close. Now, I want you to watch this here, okay? I'm going to play the audio for it, but they do a Hogan promo, and I want you to spot the difference between the Hogan promo backstage and when he comes out.
Well, apparently, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, has millions of reasons to become the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion.
Well, with all the controversy Mean Gene from WrestleMania 3, I've tried to keep it over my man, but I've viewed the film 1,001 times. Andre the Giant, you only had me down for a 2 count. I slammed you and beat you 1, 2, 3 right in the middle. Look at the players, the violence, and the training. It's small change to you, multi-million-dollar man. But I've invested my 3 assets wisely in a lifelong profit-sharing plan with all my little Hulksters, brother. First, you watch the referee. That's cool. All my Hulkamaniacs are going to be watching you, multi-million-dollar man. Then Andre the Giant, one-on-one with the whole world watching. I'm going to prove to you I can beat you, and Hulkamania will live forever.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, headed to the ring, Hulk Hogan.
And now, introducing from British Beach, Canada, weighing 302 pounds, the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, Hulk Hogan!
There he is, World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion.
All right.
No necklace.
No, all right. So no necklace.
Yeah.
The cross that he used to wear, right?
Yeah.
What else are you noticing?
I mean, he's sweating like a pig right now.
Well, he was in the other promo.
Was he? Yeah, good point. What am I missing? I know he has the wrists that I don't know.
He wore a bandana in the promo, but he's got a headband on in the ring.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, you're also missing the most important Easter egg of them all.
What's that?
I'll give you another opportunity to take a look as we're watching this here.
What is it? Yeah, I know it's word like orange. I don't know. What did I miss? Wait, is it the belt?
Yeah. That was the debut of the Winged Eagle WWF Championship.
Yeah, because there's no
Hogan didn't wear it in the promo with Mean Gene. He wore the other belt, the bigger one. That.
Yeah, I noticed there's no flags on this one.
Yeah. So he cuts the promo with Gene. He's got the bandana on. He was sweating like a son of a bitch. They take the bandana off. He puts the headband on. No cross. Took the cross off. And then he comes out with a different belt.
Interesting.
See it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was the difference. I had heard that there was a pre-taped promo with Hogan and Gene, and there was confusion as to when the championship belt was going to debut, and then at the last minute, I think they gave it to Hogan, not realizing that they had already used the other pre-tape promo for the segment. So, and here's also something else too that I want you to notice too. When Hogan came in the ring and he was swinging that belt, Hebner got right in there in his face, and you can see Hebner is kind of he's really giving Hogan the business right now, which is kind of foreshadowing, given his role in this match.
Yeah.
And of course, his history of being a crooked referee in general.
Yeah.
And Andre, just cool as a cucumber.
Yeah. They should. It makes me angry that in retrospect that Andre's only title reign was this, and last 30 seconds.
Yeah. And he hands the belt over to Dibiase.
So I don't know.
Well, here's some interesting tidbits that I wanted to share with you regarding this. You know, the finish, of course, the referee screws Hogan. There's a twin referee. They've been paid off by Dibiase. We'll see that as we watch this, match go on, et cetera, et cetera. But I just lost my train of thought. Oh. Andre wins the title. He hands it over to Dibiase. Dibiase's not the recognized champion because he didn't win the match. Okay? He bought the belt from Andre. Jack Tunney, the president of the WWF on screen, vacates the title and puts it up in a tournament. Okay? He puts Dibiase in the tournament. Dibiase was the one that orchestrated the screw job with paying off the referee and the whole plastic surgery with the twin referees. Yet Dibiase gets a spot in the tournament. Right?
Wrestling?
Okay. Hogan and Andre, they get a first round bye into the tournament.
Yep.
They don't even wrestle in the first round, but they meet each other in the second round of this tournament. Okay? Andre, who was a part of orchestrating this with Dibiase, gets a spot in the tournament.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker. The referee, he still gets to keep his job. He conspired with another wrestler to cheat another wrestler out of a championship. Yeah. And he gets to keep his job. Now, I didn't have this thought process at 5 years old. Yeah. All I cared about was that Hulk Hogan was going to get the title back. Or at least Andre and Dibiase weren't going to get the title. This was my thought process at 5 years old. Not Hebner still keeping his job and all, but the logic as I'm older, like, how is it even possible that Dibiase gets a spot in the tournament? How is it even possible that, and here's the kicker too, at WrestleMania 4, this referee that's refereeing this match is the referee of the fucking main event with Dibiase and Savage.
Yeah, Gordon Sefner. Yeah, good point.
But meanwhile, a year or two prior, they suspend Danny Davis as the referee for life plus 10 years. Gorilla Monsoon used to say that in commentary all the time. Danny Davis suspended for life as a referee plus 10 years. The 10 years is to make sure this motherfucker lives long enough, right? That's like the added security, okay? Like he's going to outlast everybody in all of mankind. So we got to add an extra 10 years to this.
I used to love Danny Davis. What did he do to get suspended as a referee?
He helped the Hart Foundation defeat the British Bulldogs. And I think he made a questionable count in the Randy Savage Intercontinental title victory over Tito Santana. Look at this. Hogan on the top rope doing the Ric Flair spot. Andre got his fingers all up in his junk. Woo! Man, I think that would hurt more than getting slammed, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, probably right.
Those big mitts. And as you can see here as we're watching this, the quality of Andre's matches had gone down. He is basically an attraction at this point. The injuries of his back have taken a toll on him. This isn't a very long match, I will say. But Hogan does get the best out of him. Now, in terms of storylines, okay, Dennis, we've talked in private. A lot of people have talked about the recent storyline with the Bloodline on WWE TV as being one of the best. I think it's very, very good. I would definitely, with the ebbs and flows and all the twists and turns, I would put it on a Mount Rushmore. Where does this storyline rank in terms of Hogan and Andre and the finish with the twin referees?
It's pretty good.
Yeah. As a young Dennis J. Levy, what were your thoughts as this all transpired?
I lost my mind because I was a Hogan hater, and I didn't think I'd free TV. I've been the whole time talking to myself, there's no way Andre Giant's going to win the belt. Like, get over yourself, you know?
How old are you currently?
I was born in 1980.
All right, so you're 3 years older than me. So, yeah, all right, so you're 8 years old.
The whole time, every time I get anything free on TV, I always thought the negative.
Didn't mean much.
And every time we went to Hartford Civic Center and I saw Hogan wrestle, I'm like, no way in hell I'm going to have that 1 in a million chance on a house show to see a title change.
Hogan, Hogan loses the belt.
Yeah,
exactly.
any of them. The tags, the icy. I always thought it was the worst. So when he had to drop it on television, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
And how it was, all the smiles involved.
So you were a Hogan.
I ate it up.
So you said you're a Hogan hater. You didn't like Hogan.
Yep.
Who was your guy then? Back then?
Dibiase.
Wait a minute, you were a Dibiase guy?
I love Dibiase.
So you didn't like it? You didn't like any of the baby faces?
When the kid
dribbled the basketball.
He kicked it. Oh my god, I was laughing on the floor.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
But your all time at that your favorite.
Demolition was actually number one. Heel Demolition was always number one.
The one there managed by Mr. Fuji.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heel Demolition and then Dibiase.
Wow, so you were a heel guy.
Yeah.
At 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah,
I could definitely see it.
I always like the bad guys.
I could definitely see it. So you didn't like Hogan, you didn't like Savage, you didn't like Warrior, you didn't like Jake the Snake.
Especially Warrior. I hated Warrior the most.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't like Warrior until I didn't care for Warrior, but then I really didn't like Warrior when he beat Hogan at WrestleMania 6. But that's another discussion for another day. As we see Andre getting the best of Hogan.
I love that spot right there.
Yes. Jim Duggan tells a great story on YouTube when he used to, they put Duggan against Andre on the live events. Actually, I think Andre requested to work with Duggan. And Andre wasn't the cleanliest. And Andre did the spot with the strap where he would choke Duggan. And Duggan said that him and Andre had been working some matches, the same matches pretty much in every town each night. And after a few nights, Duggan realized Andre, his grooming habits and his bathing, his cleanliness, his hygiene wasn't like the others. Like he didn't keep up with himself real well. And so Andre does the spot where he takes the strap and he wraps it around Duggan, but part of the strap manages to get in Duggan's mouth.
No.
And Duggan said that he got some of the giant juice in his mouth from the strap because of all the sweat and that just built up from him wearing this thing night after night after night. And basically Duggan said Andre didn't wash his gear. So that at one point, Andre does the spot, he chokes him with it, and he puts the strap in his mouth, and Duggan's like gagging and dry heaving, and Andre throws him out to the floor, and Duggan sticks his head under the ring, and he fucking pukes under the ring because Andre, here we go. Hogan goes for the leg drop, Virgil kicks him, or Virgil grabs the thing. Oh, here we go, another leg drop, boom!
Oh, there we go, it's over. No.
All right, let's play the audio for some of these last few moments of this match.
Kicked out. Look at that. He got up.
What's the finish right here? Watch this.
One headbutt. A second headbutt. Andre spins a Hulkster around.
That's awful.
That was pretty bad.
Look at that blatant screw job.
Yep.
All right, let me just put some context. 5-year-old Dave Rosenbluth watching this, all right? I'm beside myself. I think my father was sitting there watching it with me, and I'm like, Hogan kicked out. It was clear as day. The referee saw it in front of his face. Hogan kicked out. He had the arm raised at 1, not at 2, at 1. He had at the 1 count. I was very confident at 5 years old that Hulk Hogan was going to retain the title, that Jack Tunney or another referee was going to come out and they were going to reverse the decision. The one night I want fucking Hogan to win, and Jack Tunney is nowhere to be found.
Good point.
You know what I mean?
I tell you what, it hits me like a sack of potatoes. I think this is going to happen again, the Sami Zayn match with Roman Reigns. Smosh, where like Sammy does like the luda kick. 1, 2, 3, but Roman's leg was on the ropes, and then like
and they're gonna go to the replay.
Yeah,
I could see them doing something like that. He like unofficially wins it for like
yeah.
This is Andre posing with the belt here. Let's play the audio because I think Gene's going to interview Andre.
I love it.
Call it the tag team title.
He did it again.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's coming over. He's coming after him. And referee made the stupidest decision I can't believe. $1 million man with a championship. That's not legal, I don't think.
I don't know. We'll have to wait with Jack Tunney on that one. I'm not sure if Andre could just give the championship away. But one thing's for certain. Referee Dave Hebner made his decision. He's standing by it. And we have a new World Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion.
What is going on in the ring? Wait a minute.
This is where my mind was blown.
Dave Hebner? Or is that Dave Hebner?
How can there be two Dave Hebners?
Look at these guys.
Wait a minute.
They look just alike. They look just alike.
The guy on the right's Hebner, isn't it?
The left is Hebner.
Wait, no, the guy on the right is.
Wait a minute, the Hulkster's coming over to figure out.
I've been a kid. It's like, oh yeah, this couldn't be twins.
The man by the name of Dave Hebner. I can't believe we're looking at two Dave Hebners. What's going on here?
One of them's heavier than the other.
What's going on?
Are you the referee? Or are you the referee?
Dave Hebner is.
No, you are. No, you are.
Who's the real Dave Hebner? You tell me, Jesse Ventura. What is going on
I
here?
think it's the one on the left. I think the Dave Hebner, I don't know who they are. The imposter is. Look at these two.
Each one.
They look like identical twins.
They're shoving each other. Who's on the left?
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Well, that shows you who the Dave Hebner is.
Yeah. They're running the ring. Took the money. It has to be. There has to be some chicanery going on around here. Has to be something with
You gotta say, look how strong Hogan is. How far he throws a human being.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like
impressive,
a
yeah.
football.
Yeah. He launched this dude. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this referee that Hogan is manhandling right now, that's Earl.
Yeah.
But Dave is the heavier set one that was in the ring. He had the gut, the belly. Yeah, he's gonna torpedo him out of the ring. Like he's even got a running start. It's not even like look at that. Jesus Christ! Like I don't even think he even touched any of them. Andre's standing there like, you throw him to the ground. I'm not picking him up. I'm the champion of the world. I surrender the World Tag Team title to Ted Dibiase.
Why would you say tag?
Sorry, so Strike Force and the Hart Foundation are going to have a match right now. But it's going to get interrupted with Hogan's plastic surgery promo, which we're going to play the audio for right now.
Standing by with BG. All right, Vince McMahon, Bedlam and Pandemonium. Things in somewhat of a chaotic state here. Hulk Hogan, I'm sure there's going to be a thorough investigation by the World Wrestling Federation into what happened here tonight, and I know you could not be any more disappointed.
How much money did they spend on the plastic surgery, man? I had all bases covered. I had the Hulkamaniacs watching Dibiase. I had Virgil in his place. Never in my wildest dreams, me, Gene, would I think that I would get ripped off by a penny-pinching two-timing referee. How much money on the plastic surgery? How much money did he spend to pay the referee off? When I turned around, me, Gene, they were identical.
that I won.
Referee is paid off, brother. Look at that $100 bill falling off his
Oh,
mouth.
you're disappointed. Hulk Hogan, Vince McMahon, Jesse Ventura back to you.
All right, Hulk Hogan is no question they upset.
They go to commercial, then they're going to come back and...
We're back in Indianapolis, ladies and gentlemen. Back here, but I'll tell you what.
If I had a time
That
machine,
Hulk
Dave,
Hogan Andre the Giant episode, I'm sure, is indeed going to be investigated, Jesse Ventura.
So this match here, you don't really see much of it. In fact, they were really short on time. This match barely ended before they had to go off the air. As you see, you're looking at the timestamp. It's 48 minutes, 51 seconds, and this goes 49 minutes and 22 seconds. You see the credits there, Titan Sports, main event. But yeah, go ahead. Time machine?
if I had a time machine, this is how I would have booked it. I would have booked it that Dibiase bought his way into who he gets the winner of the match that same night. Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Giant gets with screw drop, and then that would have been the original finger point of doom. DiBiase touches Andre. Andre's like, "Oh, he got me!" And then 1, 2, 3. That's how I would have booked it anyway.
Okay, interesting. All right, that's an interesting way of getting around it. Honestly, if we're and I know that they weren't structured this way to book things, because for the most part on their big shows like a WrestleMania, it was always like the good guy stands tall at the end, you know. Especially Hogan, the old Hogan must pose treatment. I would have, and I'm just going to leave it at this, and then we'll end this watch along here, but I would have done the twin referee thing at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 4. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because I'm going to expand on that further when Justin and I get together for the WrestleMania What Ifs episode that we're going to have coming up. As we march towards WrestleMania on this WrestleMania season here at Kicking Out 2. This was a lot of fun, Dennis. Thank you again for indulging me on this St. Valentine's Day, if you will. Hopefully all of you didn't run through your entire box of chocolates as we watched this heartbreaking, catastrophic event in professional wrestling history. 33 million people watched Hulk Hogan's Heartbreak. I was one of those 33 million viewers at home.
Loved every minute of it. Thank you.
It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to podcasting with you once again. Like I said, schedule coming up. Next episode, we're going to recap the March 2nd, 1998 edition of Monday Night Raw. We're going to recap the March 16th episode of Monday Nitro from spring break. We're going to do a WrestleMania 9 rearrangement of sorts and make WrestleMania 9 watchable. We're going to do some classic WrestleMania watch-alongs, if you will, covering some of the milestone WrestleManias this year. And, looking forward to all that with all of you. So, with that being said, I think it's officially about that time that we put this show down for the 3 count, and we'll see you all next time.